Okay, good evening. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Okay, what we discussed last Tuesday, we discussed about force resolution. Force resolution, I think you can remember, it is very simple. How we resolute force? Force resolution. This is the force resolution. Force resolution, what is the definition? One force resolute in two direction perpendicular to each other, right? Two direction or two component perpendicular to each other. This is the definition. Okay, now this is the force resolution simply. Okay, think it is 6 degree and it is 100 Newton. How we resolute it? If it is angle direction, what's the trigonometric ratio? If it is angle direction, it is cos. Then 100 cos 60. If it is opposite direction, what is the ratio? It is psi. If it is opposite direction, the direction without angle, that we call 100 sine 60, 100 sine theta. You know, 100 cos 60 value always half. Cos 60 half mean y component 50 Newton. 100 sine 60 root 3 over 2. Then it is 50 root 3 is the x component of this 100 Newton force. Okay, that's the force resolution that we already discussed, right? Okay. Okay, force resolution completed. Okay, let's move into resultant force. Resultant force of two forces or whatever force system, how to calculate the resultant force. Let's move into few practice questions. Okay, it is very simple part. Resultant force. Okay, the first thing I hope to discuss this resultant force very shortly because it is a very simple part that we already discussed in the theory class, and I will revise and let's move into questions. Okay, now what is the meaning of this resultant force? Resultant. Okay, before that, what's the meaning of a force system? Force system. System of force. System is more than one force act on any object or point. Okay, that's the meaning of simple force system. Think it is a point. On this point, more than one forces act on this same point. Now that we consider as a force system. Simply more than one force. This is an object. If it is only one force, that is a single force. That is not a force system. That's not a force system. But more than one forces. See, more than one forces. At least two forces act on same object. That that we called as a force system. More than one forces act on same object or same point, that we called as a force system. Okay, now the example, tension and weight. This is an object hanging by a string. Now this is a weight. This is a weight of the object mg. Weight equal mg. This is the tension of the string. I told it is an auto-adjustable force. Weight equal to the tension. Tension equal to the weight. Weight, when increase the weight, the tension adjusting, getting same value. Getting same value. Therefore, if it is the weight equal 10 Newton, tension equal to 10 Newton. Okay, now is it force system or not? Yes, it is force system. What's the reason? It has two forces act on same object. Two forces act on same object. What else? There are examples. Only one person pushing a car. Is it force system? Yes or no? One person pushing a car. Is it force system or not? One person pushing a car. Is it force system or not? Think it is a smooth road. If it is smooth road on a smooth surface, one person pushing a car. What do you think, Dihini? Is it force system or not? On a smooth road, smooth surface. Force system or not? Is it system or not? Wait, give me a second. Yeah, if you only think about horizontal surface, it is not a force system. Okay, don't think about vertical. If you only think these horizontal forces, it is only single force. It's not a force system. But if you think weight and perpendicular reactions, it is a system. Now two persons, exactly, it is a force system. That's the point I want to explain. If it is single force, we're not going to think as a force system. Okay, single force is not a force system. More than one forces act on same object. That is the definition of the force system. More than one forces. Okay. Now, okay, the same thing is explaining here. Now, what is the meaning of the resultant force? What is the meaning of resultant force? What's the definition? The resultant force. Resultant force is a single force instead of force system. Okay, you should have practical idea. The resultant force is a single force. The resultant force. Resultant force. Resultant force. The resultant force is a single force like this. A single force. Like, think it is a force system. Now, 10 Newton force, 5 Newton force, and 6 Newton force act on the same object. 5 Newton, 10 Newton into right side direction, 6 Newton into opposite direction, left side direction. Okay, now what is the meaning of the resultant force? Resultant force is a single force. Single force means single force instead of this full force system. On same object, a single force එක force එකක්, only single force instead of force system, but doing same work as force system. Doing same work as force system. That's the most important thing. Okay, a single force, think if I apply 10 plus 5, it is 15. 15 minus 6, if I apply 9 Newton force into right side direction, it is a single force. Single force instead of this force system doing same work as force system. මේ force system එකේම වෙන වැඩේ වෙන්නත් ඕනේ. That's a rule. Think what happened by these three forces. Actually 9 Newton force act to right side direction, because 10 plus 5, 15 Newton act into right side direction, 6 Newton act towards to left side direction. Okay, now 9, actually the difference, unbalanced force is 9 Newton. Okay, that we called as a resultant force. A resultant force is a single force instead of full force system doing same work as a force system. Force system එකේම work එක වෙන a single force එකක් that we called as a resultant force. That's the definition of the resultant force. Okay, clear? I got up to now? Okay, I'm rapidly discuss because we already discussed theories we doing in theory class. Okay, now the first chance, I'm summarizing the resultant force lesson now. Okay, the first scenario, two forces acting along same direction. How we get the resultant force? Two forces acting along same direction like this. Two forces acting along same direction. P and Q, two forces act on same direction. How we get the resultant force? Remember, R equal P plus Q. P plus Q. We can get 10 plus Q. It is 15 Newton is the right side resultant force. Right side resultant force. And the resultant force direction always equal to the force applied direction. Forces applied direction equal to the resultant force direction. Resultant force direction always equal to the force applied direction. Force applied direction. Okay, that's the rule. The resultant force is a single force. See, think example, it is 2 Newton and 3 Newton. Instead of these two forces, if I can substitute, if I can apply 5 Newton force into same direction, now it is same, right? The doing work of the object same. Same. Okay, that's why we call the resultant force is a single force instead of this full force system doing same work as force system. Okay, now two forces acting along same direction. How to get the resultant force? We can get the resultant force by adding two forces. Not only two, if it is 10 forces or any number of forces act along same direction. Acting along same direction, how we get the resultant force? By adding. Add කරන්න P plus Q plus R plus. Okay, clear? Okay. And resultant force direction. Resultant force, you know, force is a vector. No? Then resultant force also a vector. Therefore, it should have a direction. This is the resultant force direction. Resultant force direction equal to the forces direction, P and Q direction. Okay, the second chance. Second chance. If you want, you can complete the tune. I think you all have tunes. The resultant force of two forces that we discussed. Resultant force of two forces acting along same direction. This is the first topic. Acting along same direction. See, they pulling a fishing net. Then what happened there? All apply force into same direction. Then how to get the resultant force? We can add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 persons. Then eight forces act into same direction. We can get the resultant force, first person force plus second person force, continue up to 8% final person force. Okay, write down here P plus Q are equal P plus Q. This is the R direction. Quickly write down. This is an object. Two forces act on P and Q. Two forces act on same object in same direction. Then we can get the resultant force by adding these two forces. P plus Q. P plus Q. P plus Q. P plus Q. I told you about your second exam, right? What is the date? 20. What is the date I told? Revision exam number 2. And that was a Q&A. 27th. Yes. 27th. 27th. Yes. This is a full exam, not only MCQ. Not only MCQ, and one is essay structured, same as previous. Not, it's a bit advanced, good paper. Okay, write down. By adding two forces. The R direction means resultant force direction. R direction same as forces applied direction. Okay, write down in the given space. The resultant force of two forces acting along same direction can be calculated by adding two forces. The R direction, that means resultant force direction, same as the force applied direction. Okay, now you can see this is a simple example. 8 and 6 Newton act on same direction. Now you can get the resultant force 8 plus 6, it is 14 to the same direction. That means that is a direction. That's the direction of the two forces. So resultant force. Okay, second chance, the resultant force of two forces acting along opposite direction, like this. Two forces acting along opposite direction. How to get the resultant force? By subtract. Two forces, P and Q, two forces acting along opposite direction. P and Q, two forces acting along opposite directions. Then how to get the resultant force? R equal. If I think P is the greater force, P is the greater value, P is the greater value, then P minus Q. Higher, greater value minus less force. Greater force minus less force. Okay, this is the method. Then what is the resultant force direction? Remember, resultant force direction always equal to the higher force direction. Higher force direction. If it is P is the greater value, P is greater than Q. If P greater than Q, P greater than Q, the direction of the resultant force equal to the P direction. P direction. Example, now take 10 Newton and 3 Newton act on opposite direction. Then what is the resultant force? What is the resultant force? Good. 10 minus 3, it is 7. 7 Newton into right side direction. 7 Newton into right side direction. Okay. Yeah, there are examples given. You can read them. This is an object, P and Q. The resultant force equal R equal P minus Q. If it is greater than P greater than Q force, R equal R force also equal to P force. Okay, that's the story. Two forces acting along opposite directions. 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 How to get the resultant force? Resultant force mean single force. මේ දෙකම වෙනුවට දාන්න පුළුවන් single force එක. That is the resultant force. It is P minus Q. P minus Q. Always resultant force direction same as higher force direction, greater force direction එකට තමයි තියෙන්නේ. Okay. Let's write down this. can be calculated by difference between forces. Difference, the gap. Okay. The R direction means resultant force direction, always get the greater force direction. R direction always get the greater force direction. Greater force direction. Okay, what is the magnitude and the direction? What is the magnitude and the direction of the result of a force of 5 Newton pulling an object, place an object on a table in a certain direction, and another force of 2 Newton pulling it in opposite direction. Opposite direction. Now, how to calculate the resultant force? The resultant force equal 5 minus greater value, greater force minus 2 Newton. Then you can get the resultant force value 3 Newton. 3 Newton. The magnitude of the resultant force 3 Newton. Then how to mention, how to explain the direction of the resultant force? How to explain the direction of the resultant force? The direction, okay, any idea? How we can explain? Fatima? How we can explain the direction of the resultant force? The magnitude is 3 Newton because the gap of the difference. How we can mention the direction? Dini, what is a possible method? Now we don't know right side or left side. It's given. What is the magnitude and direction of the resultant force of 5 Newton force pulling an object placed on a table in a certain direction? We don't know 5 Newton what is the direction, and another 2 Newton pulling into opposite direction. Any idea? Tanya? Habir? How we can explain the direction of the force? No, no, no. No need tan ratios. Yes, Dihini correct. Yes, towards to 5 Newton. Yes, into towards to. It is not tan ratio required for next part. Towards to 5 Newton force. That's all. Mama I told always the direction of the resultant force get into greater force direction. Now 5 Newton and 2 Newton, then what is the direction? Towards to 5 Newton direction. Okay, that's all. Okay, now what we discussed, two forces, if two forces acting along same direction, how get the resultant force? By adding. Two forces acting along opposite direction, how to get the resultant force? By subtract greater force minus lower force. The direction of the resultant force always greater value direction. Right. Result, third option, third chance, result of two forces acting along right angle forces. Right angle forces mean perpendicular forces, like this. Perpendicular forces. See, perpendicular. Two forces acting along perpendicular directions. Now, this is the most important part. How to get the resultant force? Think it is P. This is Q. Yeah, before that, actually, you should have a now time frame to manage your works, manage your three subjects. Now, last year, for 2025 students, we did revision classes 12 months, full 1 year. 12 months, no, 12 months. We start November and next November tama exam day, then 11 months. But you have only 7 months. Therefore, that's why we're doing 2 days per week. Now, අපි first 6 months අපි 2025 ආයට first 5 months we did only 1 day per week. Finally, final 6 months we got 2 days, and final 3 months we got 3 days per week. But now you have only 6 months. Now today 12th of January, and up to half of January month completed, and another you have 5 months and half, no, 6, approximate 6 months, overall 6 months. Therefore, you have to manage your works. We have huge workload, and exam more than 15 exam to complete, and lot of we have completely past papers. How many past papers with 2025 papers? We have 11 past papers now. 11 past papers and model papers. Model papers, I think more than 10 model papers we have. 10 model papers and provincial papers. Provincial papers, if we discussed per 1 year, southern, western, NWP, Northwestern Province, per 1 year we have 3 papers. ඒ වගේ තියෙනවා at least 10 years කරොත් 30 papers. 30 papers. හරිද මම කියන්නේ to cover not only SFT other subjects as මෙතන 30ක් තියෙනවා හරිද past papers 11 past papers and model papers at least 10. See, more than 50 papers. They are full papers, 5-hour papers to discuss. It is not an easy task and we have to revise again. I'm going to revise only very important lessons. I'm not going to discuss the work energy like lessons. We're not going to discuss. You have to cover them if you're not covered. Okay, that's only for SFT and ET also. You have this much papers and ICT or your third subject also same. Therefore, it's not an easy task. Take it serious with your remain time. Actually, you are special batch. Normally, all batch after one exam, another one approximate 11 months for the next exam. But you have only still 25 exam is not completed. No? Subject 10ක් තියෙනවා. 10 subjects remain. But your exam also scheduled 10th of August. Therefore, time management is very, very important now. If not, you will be in trouble in final 2 months. It's very difficult. At last time, it is very difficult to cover and revise everything. Now you have to program and manage. Actually, program. You can plan how to cover and how to revise, how start and when you start, and how many hours you will work, or everything you have to cover. You have to plan now. Schedule. Okay, now P and Q, two forces act along perpendicular directions. Yes, we can use Pythagoras theorem to calculate the result force. Always remember, if two forces are perpendicular to each other, we can complete this. We can complete these two forces as a rectangle. Remember, the diagonal of this rectangle is the resultant force. This is the resultant force. The diagonal of this rectangle is the resultant force of this P and Q two forces. Okay, now think about this right angle triangle. Now it is a right angle triangle and this is another right angle triangle. Two right angle triangles. Now, you know, if it is a rectangle, you know opposite side what happened. Opposite sides are equal. No? Opposite sides are equal. Then I can say this side equal to this opposite one equal to opposite side. Okay. Now opposite sides are equal. What is the reason? It is a rectangle. Now opposite sides are equal. Opposite sides are equal. Now what is my requirement? To calculate this diagonal, length of diagonal R. Okay, to that I can use Pythagoras theorem. R squared equal Q squared plus, if opposite sides are equal, P side equal to this one, right? Opposite side equal, therefore I can say P squared plus Q squared. R squared equal P squared plus Q squared. Now R equal P squared plus Q squared square root. R equal P squared plus Q squared square root. R equal P squared plus Q squared square root. Okay, that's the short form. Okay, you can draw and write down this one in this given space. Okay, quickly. Okay. Now two forces act on perpendicular directions. Act along perpendicular directions. Then how we can get the resultant force? Resultant force equal P squared, එක force එකක් squared plus second force squared square root. Square root. Square root. Now let's take an example. Two forces act on perpendicular directions. Now it is 3 Newton, 4 Newton. Can you get the R? Can you get the R? Yes. What is the equation? P squared plus Q squared square root. What is the P? You can select anyone for P. 3 squared plus 4 squared square root. 3 squared plus 4 squared square root. Now 3 squared 9. 4 squared 16, 16 square root. Now 9 plus 16, it is 25. 25 square root, it is 5 Newton. 5 Newton is the resultant force of these two perpendicular forces. 5 Newton is the resultant force. Now I have a problem. Now I told always result force is a vector. The resultant force is a type of force. Now force is a vector. The resultant force is a type of force. Therefore, resultant force also a vector. No, a resultant force. The resultant force also a type of vector. Vector quantity. Vector quantity means it has magnitude as well as direction. Magnitude as well as direction. Now this is a resultant force. Capital R. Now, for this force, it is the magnitude 5 Newton. Okay, the magnitude 5 Newton. Then how we can explain the direction? In previously, we can explain very simply direction. If there are two forces acting along same direction, opposite direction, we can explain very simply the direction. Now, how can we explain the direction? The magnitude, okay. Any idea? Do you have any idea? Yes, this is the method. This is the method. We can use trigonometry. We can use trigonometry. Okay. Now, think this angle is theta. Now, I want to calculate this angle. Then, if you got this angle value, angle magnitude of this angle, I can explain the resultant force of this P and Q two forces. It is going theta angle to the Q force. No? Yes. This place we have to use tan inverse method. Yes. Tan inverse method. Okay. This is the method. Now, this is the theta. Theta. This is the opposite direction. Relevant to this theta. This is the opposite direction. This is the adjacent direction. Opposite side and adjacent side. Okay. Opposite side and adjacent side. Okay. Now, I can use tan theta equal to opposite. What is opposite? POQ. Send me opposite එකට ගන්න ඕනේ POQ. දෙහිනි tan theta equal opposite POQ. That is, you have to careful to select P and Q. P the Q the ගන්න ඕනේ. Fatima, but we need to select for opposite. POQ. Tanya, මතකයි? Tan theta equal opposite over adjacent. Habir, what is the opposite? Yes, very good. It is P, because if it is a rectangle, opposite sides equal, therefore this is opposite P over adjacent Q. Now you can get theta equal theta, my target calculate the theta. Theta equal tan inverse tan minus 1 P over Q. Tan minus 1 P over Q. This is the direction of the resultant force. This is the direction of the resultant force. I will explain by an example. Okay. Quickly write down this one. In this place, write down this method here. Angle calculation. Angle calculation. Okay, let's move into previous example. Okay, now I told two forces, 3 forces and 4 Newton. 4 Newton, 3 Newton and 4 Newton act along perpendicular directions. Each perpendicular directions. Now, how to get this resultant force? Resultant force we got P squared plus Q squared. That means 3 squared plus 4 squared square root. The answer was 5 Newton, right? Answer was 5 Newton. Now, how to calculate this theta? If you found this theta, we can explain the direction. Then tan theta equal opposite over adjacent. Think it as a rectangle, then opposite equal to, this is opposite one, 4. 4 over adjacent. Adjacent is, this is adjacent, it is 3. That you have to careful for select this for opposite over adjacent. Then theta equal tan inverse 4 over 3. This is a problem now. How to get tan inverse values? How to get tan inverse values? You have to get your scientific calculator. Now you have to find, if you don't have calculator, you have to find the calculator now, because you have to practice it. Okay, if you don't have calculator, you can use this app. Okay, how to type sine inverse? So in tan inverse, you can type shift plus tan, shift plus tan, shift plus tan, shift plus tan. It's tan inverse. Tan inverse 4 over 3. 4 divided by 3. Brackets. It is 53.13. Approximately 53. Better to get approximate value 53 degrees. That is enough. 53 degrees. Now you can explain. Now you can explain. Now you can explain. R mean result force. R equal 5 Newton. 53-degree inclination to the 3 Newton force. Okay, that's how you can explain the result force direction. Result force direction. Then what is the magnitude of this result force? 3 and 4 Newton. Perpendicular force, magnitude 5 Newton. What is the direction? It is 53-degree inclination. මෙයාගේ angle එක 53-degree inclination to the 5 3 Newton force. If it is 53, more than 53, then what is this angle? මෙයා 53 නම් මෙයා කීයද? Tanya, what is this next other angle? What is this remaining angle? Yes, it is 37. Good. 37 degree. How you got this? If it is right angle, 53 plus 37, 90. That's all. 90 minus 53 is 37. Okay, let's do another one to practice. Let's move into another one. Okay, now okay, 8 Newton and 6 Newton perpendicular. Get the magnitude, R magnitude and R direction. R magnitude and R direction. Okay, R magnitude and R direction. Okay, R magnitude and R direction. One second. What is R magnitude? It's easy. Okay, others quickly. Mentagal. Yes, magnitude 10 Newton. No? Magnitude 10 Newton. What is the direction? Magnitude is correct. How to get magnitude? R equal P squared plus Q squared square root. P squared 8 squared plus 6 squared square root. 64 plus 36 square root. It is 10 Newton. 10 Newton. 10 Newton. 100 square root 10 Newton. Okay. Now direction. Other direction. Direction. Any angle you can calculate. I am going to get same angle theta. Now theta equal tan theta equal opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite always mea. This one. This is opposite. Opposite over adjacent. Opposite 6. Adjacent 8. Now theta equal tan inverse tan minus 1 6 over 8. Tan inverse 6 over 8. Okay, what is the value of tan inverse 6 over 8? Tan inverse 6 over 8. Dihini, what is value? Tan inverse 6 over 8. Don't you have calculator? Yes, 30 approximate 38 point value, then it is approximate 39. I write round off into full value, full degree value. Okay, then it is 39. 39 degree. Okay, then how we can explain? It is 10 Newton force. 10 Newton force. 10 Newton is the result force, 10 Newton. You can explain the direction 39 degree inclined from 8 Newton force. Or in your word, you can explain. Okay, this is the magnitude of the result force and direction of the result force. Full answer. Okay, understood? Ariel? If it is 39, what is the remaining one? May I 39? It is 51, right? 51. Okay. Write down. Okay, let's move into next part, final part of the resultant force. Now we discussed up to now two forces acting along same direction, two forces acting along opposite directions, two forces acting along perpendicular directions. What are the equations? Summary. Two forces acting along same direction, very simple. P plus Q. P plus Q. Two forces acting along opposite directions. P minus Q. Two forces acting along perpendicular directions. What is the equation? R equal P squared plus Q squared square root. This is R. Then you can get the theta. Theta equal tan inverse P over Q. Okay, remember these equations and applications. Okay, now let's move into our final one. Two forces acting alone. Two forces acting alone. Two inclined forces. Resultant force of two forces acting along two inclined forces. Okay, it is like this. See, now this is the two force. This is the two force. It is less than 90-degree angle. Less than 90-degree angle. This is the P. This is the Q. With 30-degree angle or whatever theta. Theta angle. Then how to get the resultant force? Remember, this type cases, we can complete these two force as a parallelogram. As a parallelogram, we can complete this as a parallelogram. Complete these two forces as a parallelogram. We can complete like this, as a parallelogram. Now, the diagonal of this parallelogram, the diagonal of this parallelogram is the diagonal is this parallelogram. This is the resultant force of this force system. This is the resultant force, the diagonal of the parallelogram. We have actually practical in our practical classes. We doing in after April we start our practical guide. We have a huge practical guide as it. Q&A. We have we have 11 past papers. How many model papers? 10 model papers. 30 provincial papers. And we have another 15 exam papers. Mama hadapuwa thiyena tawa new papers, 15 exam papers. Our class papers. And we have practical guide. Practical class, practical guide. Okay, that's a works. Papers madina 30, 51, 66 full papers. We have to cover within this remain 6 months. And we have to start practicals after complete our theory class. I convert this time to our practical class. We have a lot of practicals. Actually, in physics, chemistry part, we don't have more practicals. We already discussed during our theory classes. all practicals, but I hope to revise them. But physics part, including parallelogram theorem and lot of in Bernoulli's theorem and fluid mechanisms and electricity also and mechanical properties of matters and heat lesson, we have huge practicals. The Goddard theorem, how to find specific heat capacity, specific latent heat, specific latent heat of melting, specific latent heat of vaporization, huge practicals. Okay, therefore, it's not an easy task, as I told earlier. You have to schedule your works. Now, if you want good result during 6 months, you have to schedule your all works, not only this subject with other subjects, managing a time. And you have to schedule and make a perfect plan. Not like 25 students, you have very limited time now. Very limited time. However, if you're doing this now, still you have time. You start today, you can do it. You can cover everything and you can go to a good result with good rank. Therefore, don't worry about time and your workload. Okay, you have enough time if you start now, but if you're late, you will be trouble. If you're late. Let's move into. I want to show you. We have practical guides. We have a practical guide. During these practical classes, we can discuss what is the practical of this parallelogram theorem. Okay, now I only explain the theory part. Okay, now P and Q, two forces acting along angular direction, angular less than 90-degree angle. Okay, I can complete as a parallelogram. I told the diagonal of this parallelogram is given the diagonal of this parallelogram given the resultant force of these P and Q two forces. Okay, now this is the equation. You can get the resultant force. You have to remember this equation. P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ cos theta. This is the R equation. I will write as a one line. R equal P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ cos theta square root. This is the equation for this resultant force. Resultant force P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ cos theta. P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ cos theta. This is the equation. P squared plus 2 P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ cos theta. Don't forget this square root. Okay, some guys doing this mistake continuous, frequently doing this mistake. Don't forget square root. The full equation you should add square root. Okay, R equal, you don't need in practical class also, we can't prove this equation that you don't need this much knowledge. You only need to remember this equation. R squared equal P squared P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ cos theta. That enough. Okay, let's try one question. Akbalam. Now 3 Newton and 4 Newton, same as previous. The angle 30 degree. What is R? How to calculate R? R equal. What happened? This is R. R equal P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ cos theta. square root. Don't forget. R P squared. P squared. I think P is 3. Okay. 3 squared plus Q squared 4 squared plus 2PQ. 2 into 3 into 4 into cos angle. Cos multiplied by the given angle. Cos 30. Cos 30. Cos 30 square root. Full square root. Now 3 squared 9. 4 squared 16 plus 2 into 3, it is 6. 6 into 4, 24 into cos 30. What is the cos 30 value? Root 3 over 2. Cos 30 root 3 over 2. Now you can brackets, add brackets. Then 9 plus 16, 25 plus cancel into 2, 12. 12 root 3. 12 root 3. 12 root 3. Yeah, now you can use calculators to get the value. Okay, find this value. Use calculator. Give me a second. Okay, what is the value? 25 plus 12 root 3 full square root. What is this value? 6.7, right? 6.76. 6.76 Newton. Okay, this is the result magnitude of the R, magnitude of the resultant force. Magnitude of the resultant force. Now, magnitude okay. Magnitude okay. Now, how to find the direction? Same. It's same. Okay, before that, let's complete the tube. Resultant force magnitude, you can calculate R equal P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ cos theta. That enough. Cos theta square root. You can write down that. Okay, now I am going to get the direction of this two direction. Same as previous, you can get the direction by an angle. I am going to calculate this angle theta. I am going to calculate this angle. Okay, that for calculate this angle, you have to very careful. You have to very careful. This is the method. Now this is the equation. Okay, හරියට බලන්න. This is the most important part of this lesson. Tan theta equal, this is the basic equation. tan theta equal, give me a second. Sorry. Yeah, tan theta equal P. Now, according to this, we are going to calculate this angle. Then it is Q sine theta, Q sine theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. P plus Q cos theta. P plus Q cos theta. Okay, this is the equation. Hurry. Make a. Now, what is my requirement to calculate theta? No? Theta equal inverse Q sine theta divide by P plus Q cos theta. Tan inverse tan minus 1 Q sine theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. Okay, this is the equation. Sorry. Yeah, that depend on, wait, I will explain. Make a change window. P sine theta window. That you have to very careful. P sine theta plus Q plus P cos theta. Wait, I will explain. That is the most important point. P sine theta Q plus P cos theta. Okay, always remember, I have add this theta into Q direction. No, I'm going to get the angle between R and Q, resultant force and Q. Therefore, in this equation, always this without sine or cos. This single value always angle side value. Angle side value එක තමයි මේ single තියෙන්නේ. Okay, I will show you into example. Always remember this is the equation. But if you remember this equation, you can't apply this. You should have full idea. Theta equal tan inverse P sine theta divided by Q plus cos P cos theta. Then you can see P always sine and cos both ratios apply to P into same side. එක force එකකට තමයි apply කරන්නේ. Into same force. Remember, this P always opposite side of the angle. Angle එක තියෙන පැත්ත නෙමෙයි. හරිද? මම දාලා පෙන්නන්නම්. Now, this example, our example, previous example, the resultant force magnitude was 6.76. Okay, now I am going to show you. I am going to this alpha. This is alpha. Now, I am going to calculate this alpha. Alpha equal tan inverse. Tan inverse, you have to practice this. Tan inverse. What is my equation? P sine theta divided by Q plus P cos theta. This is our equation, right? Now tan inverse P sin theta. Always metan P when sin and cos both substitute to the opposite side, opposite force from the angle, not angle side force. හරිද? අනිත් එක්කෙනාට තමයි අපි දාන්න ඕනේ. 3 sin theta over 4 plus angle පැත්ත එක්කෙනා මෙතන තනියම single one. 4 plus 3 cos theta. I got understood? Dehini? This the long force is the angle side force. හැම වෙලාවෙම. That's the rule. Single one. I got it. Understood? Tanya? Always single force is the angle side one. Sin and cos both substitute multiply by opposite one. අනිත් එකට. හරිද? That is a rule. That's a rule. Okay, you have to careful. This point you have to careful. Hari. Now can you get this value? Can you get this value? Tan inverse. Now theta mean, what's the theta mean? Now theta mean 30, no? Theta mean given angle 30. 30. හදන්න. Tan inverse tan inverse 3 sin 30. Sin 30 equal half, no? 3 sin 30 half or 0.5 divide by 4 plus 3 cos 30. 3 into cos 30 root 3 over 2. හදන්න මට ඊට නෑ. I write here tan inverse 3 over 2 mean 1.5. 1.5 divide 4 plus 3 root 3 over 2 mean 1.5 root 3. 1.5. 4 plus 1.5 root 3. What is the value? 4 plus 1.5 root 3. You have to use calculators. 1.5. 1.5 means 3 over 2. Root 3. It's 6.6. 6.6. Maybe approximately you can get a value. Tan inverse 1.5 over 6.6. Tan inverse shift tan 1.5 over 6.6. It is 12.8. 12.8 approximately 13 degrees. 13 degrees. 13 degrees. Now you can explain. Now you can explain. It's 13 degrees. The R, you can note down. R has 13 degree inclination with whom? With 4 Newton force. Okay, this is a full answer. This is the magnitude and this is the direction. magnitude and the direction. Okay, write down and let's practice another question. This is the most advanced part actually, heat lesson, most advanced CL lesson, theory part. Okay, complete. Today I'm going to complete resultant force complete. The next week moment of force. Next week means next Tuesday we can discuss moment of force and force equilibrium complete. Force complete. And 26th, not 26th, 27th of Tuesday morning you have exam. Second revision exam. Let's okay. If you want, take a screenshot. You can write down later. Hurry. 60 degrees. Ten Newton and 5 Newton. I need resultant force. Okay. Start calculations. R equal P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ cos theta square root. P squared 5 squared plus 5 squared plus 10 squared plus 2 into 5 into 10 cos 60. Cos 60 means half, no? Cos 60. Now 5 squared, don't forget this square root. 5 squared 25. 10 squared 100 plus 2 into 5 10. 10 into 10 100 again. 2 into 5 10. 10 into 10 100. Yes. 100 into cos 60 half. Cos 60 half square root. 25 plus 100, it is 125. 125 plus 100 cancel into 250. Now 50 into 1, it is 50 square root. 175 square root is the value, right? Oh, sorry. 175 square root. Here, 175 square root. $13.22, no? 13.22 Newton. This is the magnitude of the resultant force. මේ දෙන්නම වෙනුවට දාන්න පුළුවන් magnitude එක 13.22 in this direction. Now can we calculate this angle? Any angle you can calculate. Okay, අපි හොයමු this alpha. Let's calculate. Can I erase this? No, I'll zoom out. Now, what is our equation to calculate the direction? Tan inverse alpha equal, sorry, alpha equal tan inverse P sin theta over Q plus P cos theta. Okay, you have to remember it. Always Q is the angle side force. Q is the angle side force. That's a important thing. Hari. Tan inverse P. What is the P? Opposite one. Remain one. 10. 10 sin 60 over Q mean angle side always. Q mean always angle side. Q mean always angle side. Angle side 5. 5 plus 10 cos 60. Tan inverse. 10 sin 60, it is half. Divide by 5 plus 10 cos 60. 10 into root 3 over 2. Then it is 5 root 3. 5 plus 5 root 3. 5 plus 5 root 3. Now you can use calculators. 5 plus 5 root 3. 10 into half, it is 5. Tan inverse 5 over 5 plus 5 root 3. Value tan inverse 5 over 5 plus 5 root 3. It is 20, no? 20 there. Sorry, I have changed sign and cos, no? No. Sin 60 not half Kavi. I have changed. Cos 60 half. Yeah, mistake. Sin 60 not half. Sin 60 root 3 over 2. Good, good. Cos 60 half, then it is 5. And the 10 into half means 5. Now 5 root 3, 5 root 3 over 10. Yes. Kabir, now okay? May Joel, now okay, right? Hurry. Tan inverse 5 root 3 over 10. Yes, it is 40, no? 41 or 40? Yeah, 41, 40. This is 41. 41. Then you can say, then it is 90, no? Remain one 90 because total angle 60. It's 90. 19. So 19. Okay. The magnitude of the resultant force 13.22. 13.22. The direction uh, uh, 41-degree angle to 5 Newton force. Okay, that's the full answer. It's 41 degrees. Okay. Any doubt? Any unclear point? Everything okay? How to apply to this equation? That is the most important point. Okay, this Q. Q is always angle side. Api gun angle side deke force එක. Angle side force. The single value. Okay, let's summarize today's lesson. The resultant force lesson. Okay, this is the summary of the resultant force. Resultant force. What's the meaning of the resultant force? A single force instead of force system. And the force system mean more than one force act on same object. That's the meaning of force system. That's the meaning of force system. More than one force act on same object. A single force instead of all these force system we called as a resultant force. That's a resultant force definition. First we discussed two forces act on same direction. Two forces act on same direction. Then how to get the resultant force? R equal P plus Q. Resultant force direction same as force applied direction. Second one, two forces acting along opposite directions. Greater force minus lower force. This is the R equal. If it is P is greater, then P minus Q is the resultant force. Greater value direction is a resultant force direction. Third one, two forces acting along perpendicular directions, P and Q. Then R. Always R equal to P squared plus Q squared square root. Then direction alpha equal tan inverse Q over P now. According to this diagram, it is Q over P, opposite over adjacent. That's very careful. Careful. Final one. Two forces acting along less than 90 degree angle with less than 90 degree angle theta. How to get the resultant force? R equal P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ cos theta square root. This is the magnitude of the resultant force. This is the first one, second one, third one, final one, fourth one. How to get the theta, not theta alpha. I think it is R and this is alpha, this angle. Then alpha equal P sine theta over Q plus, always Q is the angle direction force, Q plus P cos theta. Okay, that is a summary. If you want, you can take screenshot or write down. This is the first one, second one. Okay. If you have any doubt about resultant force, you can ask now. Yeah, question, what is the best scientific calculator to purchase for the exam? Do you remember I have sent මම දවසක් group එකට ඒව මතකයිද? Yeah, this you can buy this type one. 991 කියලා එකක් තියෙන FX. මේ දෙකෙන් ඕන එකක් ඕකේ. This one හරි මේක හරි. FX 991 second edition. මේකත් okay මේකත්. This is FX 991 ES plus. FX 991 ES plus. FX 99 මේක second edition. මේකේ එහෙම එකක් නැහැ. මේකත් I think second edition. Yeah, this is a good one. Around 3000 වගේ ගානකට මේක ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට වැඩි වුණත් මම කියන්න අපේ university there are some shops I can give you. And make sure to warranty at least 6-month warranty. And for exam period you have warranty. 6-month warranty එකක් තියෙන එකක් ගන්න. Then no issue. And it has a solar charging system as. Okay, any other question? Okay. Okay, that's the end of result force. Next Tuesday we start the moment of force. Moment of force also very important part of our syllabus. Moment of force and couple of forces, no? Moment of force and couple of forces. Okay, moment of forces. Okay, now today that enough. Today, please go through again this equation and practice very well. And what are the difference, how to P and Q substitute, how to P and Q separately substitute, and everything again go through. And as I told earlier, you have to prepare a perfect time schedule and plan how to cover within remain 6 months. how to cover your all subjects, not only this one. Then අපි ගත්තොත් ET වල 17 lessons. BST I can't remember. Think it is 20 වගේ ඇතිනේ. 20 lessons. And we have 25 lessons, and ICT I can't remember. Okay. Likewise, first your target at least end of April. End of April, you have to cover at least 90% of all syllabus you have to cover. At least 90%. Then you can easily ready for the exam. ඊට වඩා තිබ්බොත්, if you have more than 10% final 3 months theory, it will be issue. Okay, therefore, as much as soon you have to cover your syllabus. In our theory class, how many lessons completed now? We have complete 14th lesson now. After electricity lesson, we start fluid mechanism. Then actually, natural products, industry chemistry, actually 90% complete. Then we have very simple ICT lessons and the polymer lessons only. They are very simple lessons. Okay, therefore, the most important thing, please make your plan. Okay, this is a perfect time to schedule your working plan from February, March, April, May, June, July. 6 months you have. Okay, let's meet on Tuesday, 6 p.m. with I hope to discuss moment of forces and moment of forces related questions in next Tuesday. Okay, goodbye.